Who's ready for some Potter Tales? For real this time. Alright, so growing up, I had probably the best grandparents I could ever have. They're a big reason why I turned out the way I did. Grandma Jay's the one that got me hooked on coffee. She was giving it to me in preschool. I bet my parents freaking loved that. So this one time, me and my grandpa were headed down to Columbus for the family reunion. So we're traveling on down 23, and all of a sudden, I notice my grandpa nods off. So as we're veering off into oncoming traffic, I said, "Grandpa, wake up!" Well, apparently I startled him because he swerves over even further, and a tanker truck with gas on it swerves also. My grandpa hurried up and jerked the wheel back over, and I turn around and look, and the semi was off the road jackknife. So like 20 seconds of awkward silence goes by, and all of a sudden he said, "We don't talk about this again," and just kept driving. So another time, me and my grandma Potter were heading down to Kentucky to visit her sisters. So here we are heading down 23 South again, and there's a barricade on the road that says "road closed ahead." Well, my grandma completely disregarded the giant orange and white barricade with blinking lights and blasted that thing with her freaking van. And she annihilated it. There was pieces flying everywhere. Any place you looked, there was pieces. Rest in peace, barricade. Just as she blows through this barricade, there's a state trooper sitting there and sees the whole thing. Well, of course she wasn't getting away with that one. So he pulls her over and he said, "Hey, ma'am, did you not see that barricade?" And my grandma's response was, "Did you see that barricade?" Thank God that cop had a sense of humor. He still wrote her a ticket, but still had a sense of humor. And let me tell you something about my grandma Potter. She was a red-headed firecracker. Ain't nobody messing with her or her family. So the one day she was at our house and our dog got loose, and somebody called the pound saying that it was a dog running at large, looked like a wolf. So the dog warden came to my house with my dog, and he was like, "Hey, you know your dog's off the leash running at large, and I'm going to have to write your dad a ticket, blah, blah, blah." This when things started to unravel a little. So my grandma approaches the dog warden and said, "Take that ticket, shove it up your ass, and leave in your brown wagon." Mind you, I'm like 12 years old. So this is when the dog warden said, "Well, your dog's running at large," and my grandma's response to that was, "Well, so is your fucking mouth. Get back in your brown wagon and leave." So he said, "Well, I'm calling the fucking cops." She said, "Well, go the fuck ahead. You can call the army while you're at it, but you're still going to have to leave." So the warden's sitting there telling the cop about what's going on, and the cops turned around and looked at my grandma and said, "Ma'am, did you say all this?" So my 4'2", 100-pound grandma said, "Yes, I said that. And you can fucking get out of here, too." So at this point, I thought things were about to really go sideways, when all of a sudden the cop started busting out laughing, looks at the dog warden and said, "Just send the ticket in the mail." So I had this terrible first grade teacher, and she was like really mean to me. She grabbed my arm one time and left marks on it. My Grandma Johnson was pissed. So Grandma said, "Next time she touches you, make sure you tell her, 'Keep your hands off me, lizard lips.'" So the next time she touched me, I said that. Dried up old ass teacher looked at me and opened her mouth like, and all you could see is those nasty coffee stained teeth and bad breath. Well, I was sent to the office, and the principal asked me what happened, so I told him, and he got up, had this look on his face, and walked out. All of a sudden, here comes my grandma walking in the office because she was one of the cafeteria ladies at the school, and the principal brought her in with me. He asked me to repeat the story to Grandma, so I did. Well, all of a sudden, they looked at each other and both started busting up laughing. So the principal told my grandma just to sign me out early and I can take the rest of the day off. That rusty old broad's still kicking. Can't believe it. She's got to be coughing up dust by now. So I got one grandma pumping me full of coffee and Pepsi, the other one pumping me full of Coca-Cola and cuss words. No wonder my parents were pissed and I was a hyperactive asshole. People are freaking awesome. They have the best stories, and they have this attitude where they don't even give a shit what they say anymore. They just say whatever comes to their heads. If your grandparents are good people, be good to them back, because I'm telling you what, it's the biggest gift in the world to have awesome grandparents. And if you are a grandparent, keep it real with your grandkids. They ain't no dummies, and they know that you're not innocent.